Yes. You're quite correct. You're correct in your yes-ing.
Are we on?
We're on, sir.
We're on the recording?
We're on, sir. And we're as late as we've ever been!
Beautiful.
I'm so excited for it.
You were late and then
I was so late.
Even later. So it's okay. I was actually hoping that I could start the podcast without you on it completely and just...
I was hoping this as well.
Say that I'd fired you. Just be like, well, ladies and gentlemen...
Are you in charge? Do you have that power?
No, but I could have feigned it, couldn't I?
Okay, that's
could have faked it.
Scared me then.
Couldn't I? Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but Will Hukin's passed away, so it's just me now.
That
on the
sounds more
podcast,
likely than being
which is
fired,
what you've always
actually.
been wanting. It's just I.
Oh God.
You're the entertainment value added on top. No, I'm kidding.
They want boring robot confirmation only.
I know, I love you so much. One of the things I love about our relationship is we razz each other a little bit, don't we? We bring the razzle dazzle, but it's all love. You know you're my favourite guy.
Yes.
Ever on earth.
I am your favourite guy.
You are literally. I've got my non-sponsored by Rain Total Body Fuel energy drink. 200 milligrams of caffeine in these, do you know?
Feel free to sponsor us. Really?
200,
That's
yeah.
intense.
That's quite a lot for me. I usually drink half of it and then either leave it or
I wish I'd got a coffee. I was going to get a
Leave it
coffee
for later. Do you want to share
with
this?
my lateness. No, you're all right, dude. I've had a coffee at home. I don't need one. I'm just a caffeine addict, aren't I now?
Are you really? I don't know what your caffeine consumption habits are. So.
It used to be like one coffee a day. I'm definitely having... It's not bad. It's 2 or 3.
That's not
It's
a lot.
fine.
No, that's not
I've got a mate
What
at the
type
minute.
of coffee? Just like instant scoop?
No, I have a little cafetiere, the mocha pot. No, that's not a lie. The cafetiere... No. Wow, we really are late and early.
Come
today,
on
aren't
now. what are you drinking?
we? A mocha pot. Then one's where it goes...
I don't know what that is.
That was an awesome, excellent description. What are you talking about?
Well, it clearly wasn't because I still am none the wiser as to what you are talking about.
Then one's
Let
what
me
you put
Google
on the stove, and then it goes up through it, and then you.
I don't know if I've ever seen this,
Do
but
you know
I'm
what's
not
funny
really a
actually?
major
This might be
guy.
something bad actually that I forget about.
Not fancy coffee.
Is
anyway.
it's
Sorry, what's it called? Mocha pot.
Yeah.
All right, you just tell me if I'm doing. Or M.
Yeah, one of these
M-O-K-A or M-O like.
Oh god. Yeah, one of them.
Oh, I know exactly what that is.
Yeah. But do you know what? I used to
I
have
just
what they
didn't know it was
class
called that.
as a 4-man one, which means you put in the appropriate amount of coffee for 4 espresso shots, so you get for 4 cups for 4 people. But I just always used to make it for one person, so I just would all of that as one big coffee. But it wasn't big enough, so now I've got a 9-man one.
And you don't have 9 in one go, do you?
I don't think so. I think you have to. I think you have to like fill it and flatten it to get 9 out of it. I like have it half full, so I'm probably having 4.
That's all right. That's not too strong, probably.
That's fine. I've got a mate who's currently smashing coffee.
Do you know how many milligrams of caffeine it would be per shot? No, I don't imagine you would.
Yeah, one of my mates the other day had a whole 225 gram thing of coffee in one day.
What?
That's disgusting, isn't it?
You mean a pack of ground coffee?
Yep.
No, don't do that.
I know. I told him don't do that.
No, don't do that.
He told me yes, do that, and
No.
I'm doing it. You know, he knows it's. Yeah, he's working on some very.
Instant coffee like scoop.
No,
Then what?
the stuff that like what I use. You put-
Ground coffee?
Yeah.
No, it's even stronger.
Even more intense.
No.
We were in the sauna.
Who's this man?
We were Peter, my friend.
Peter.
That we're gonna have on here. Peter.
Listen, P. You need to stop this. This is nonsense.
Yeah, he's a very smart man, and so I'm
And what I bet he is, his brain's wired to the
I'm-
hilt. Isn't it? He's electrocuting himself from the inside out, this boy. I bet he is.
we
Bet
were
he's
in the
fired
sauna.
up and ready to go.
We were in the sauna at 8 o'clock at night, and he was having a coffee in the sauna. I tried it. It tasted like mud.
It tasted like mud.
It was the consistency of mud as well.
It was a little
It
thick
was
boy.
legit. Yeah.
Wow.
Speaking of people that we know, I have an apology to make
Oh,
to our friend Pierce
okay, why?
of the station gym.
Okay.
Because so far, I failed to mention his involvement.
Has he complained about this, or are you just doing this?
He's complained about this.
You failed to mention what his
Just
involvement in the station gym.
Well, and it makes sense. I'm not being an arsehole. It's because I was working with
Does it
Tom
mean he's
and
been
Phil.
listening to the show?
Yeah.
Yes, that's
you,
all we
Pete.
care about. Love you, boy. That's
Yeah.
all we care about.
Still gonna shit
Click
on you.
like,
No.
subscribe, add on comments. Come on, help us in the algorithm.
Let's please.
Share
please.
to a friend.
But it makes sense. I was working with Tom and Phil for a year building this place before I had anything to do with Pierce because he was running.
He was
TSG
running
at the time.
Titanium, wasn't he? Yes, I
Exactly.
know.
And he's quickly become one of my favourite people. He really has. He's so funny.
He's a great guy.
He's a great guy. We've
agree with
had
all this.
a pint together every now
Yep.
and then, and he's a good chap.
He thrashed us both at pool.
Dude, that was embarrassing
Didn't
how
it?
hard he
We-
thrashed us at pool.
And we've been training.
And when we say
a little
both
bit
of us, let's
Clarify.
Yeah. So him versus both of us at once, him having one shot, then us having a shot each,
on the same team.
On the
So it's
same
Pierce, and then it's
colour.
me and you. Well, you do one, I do one.
and he's still absolutely
He
thrashed us.
absolutely battered us still.
I can put balls in holes sometimes, but he
Yeah, and I
he
wouldn't
knew
say I'm
how
awful.
to do it. No,
I'm better than somebody who's never played, for sure. We both are. Yeah. Even though when we went to the pub the other day, you beat me every time, I think.
I'll get in.
What about that magic pocket where the thing had sunk in? I put 2 balls and it went down and popped back out.
Twice before you realised.
Because there was rubber in the bottom.
I was a fan of that pocket because I never aimed for it.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, so Piers is one of the owners here at the station gym.
Yeah, and he's a good guy.
He runs the reception and cafe area.
Yeah, and other general
kind of
management stuff.
He's also getting in phenomenal shape.
Dude looks good.
He's transforming really fast for a competition coming up at some point, isn't he?
Agreed.
He's getting bigger, he's getting leaner. He's being coached by Todd Vickers Coaching.
Yes, who will have him.
Another man who also uses too much caffeine. He needs to slow down.
That man's eyeballs are so close to popping out his head.
He needs to slow down.
Yeah.
I've never seen somebody go so intense on the adductor. He's like,
1 rep max adductor. I spotted him on a hack squat the other day with some real weight, and yeah, it was a fun time. Maximum intensity.
Why? Like, what kind of weight can he do and you do on the hack squat?
Oh, I hack squatted in a minute, but he's had, I think, 4 plates aside.
Yeah, that's double me. I do 2 aside and it's hard.
Yeah, for a set of 8 and then drop set for a set of 10 with 2 plates aside.
He's way bigger than me though, so I'm not mad at this.
No,
he just
fine,
deserves all this.
Yeah,
I do 2 plates aside and it's heavy.
Yeah, I'm excited to have him on. He knows his shit. Yeah.
Is he going to come on the podcast? I haven't spoken to him about it. I do speak to him in the gym, but I haven't.
Yeah, he is, and we're going to not say anything for that episode. I think there's not going to be enough oxygen in the room. It's going to be great.
He's one of the only people that can talk faster than me.
I know,
isn't he?
It's intense, yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
One time I was talking to him on the gym floor and it was me and him going backwards and forwards, and Phil walked up and went, "Oh, not you two," and then turned around and walked off.
Not keeping up with that.
Yeah. Get involved in this firepower over here. 2 machine guns.
And speaking of the gym as well, what has Phil just walked in and told us?
Over 1,000 members now at the station gym. Let's go! The station gym where we are
well
right
done,
now.
the station gym.
Sponsored by, there's actually 1,002 members.
That's what it was, wasn't it?
I think whoever's 1,000 needs to get free membership for lifetime. Just as a prize. Just as a prize. Just do it now.
What do we get as a prize for being part of the team? You're not part of the team, go away.
I'm not part of the actual staff here.
No, you just float around, somehow get through the cracks, don't you? Yeah.
I'm everywhere I need to be.
Nice. You are, I agree.
And here to support and spread love and information.
And here to do our podcast.
We're actually hiring another personal trainer here as well, I saw online.
Oh, we got another one on the line.
No, I just saw it on the Facebook and
advert.
Instagram literally this morning, saying, "Oh, station gym, looking for a new PT, etc." I thought, I commented on it, obviously I liked it.
Oh, really?
It's a good opportunity. Come down, learn from me.
I recommend you do this.
Yeah, I do, to be honest. I also recommend me.
Yep, I agree with me. I agree with me.
I agree with me.
I always agree with me. This is good advice.
Yeah. What else then? Oh yeah, so Piers, one of the owners at the station gym, great guy, getting in good shape, got a fitness competition coming up soon.
Yeah.
I like his videos on the station gym.
Funny.
He's funny actually, and he's
Yeah,
good
he's
on the
gotten better
camera.
at him.
I keep meaning to mention it to him, but it never comes up because often he's busy. So I only see him in passing like a little bit. He's either working or he's training or something. Most of the time anyway, you know what I'm saying. But I keep meaning to mention to him that I do really like his little skits that he does. Like he tends to come out of places or pop out of things when he comes onto the camera.
Oh,
he's always like hiding in something and then comes out.
Yeah.
It's good. It's quite
a little chef's hat on.
He looks cool in that hat. He actually makes it work.
He should butler in the buff. He's got the right kind of thing for that.
He could make that work. He's definitely in great shape and getting greater as time goes on.
Yeah, I saw him doing the most intense tricep extensions yesterday.
Really?
Just cuffed 3 second concentric, 3 second eccentric.
Cuffed like onto the... Yeah. Oh, you know I don't agree with 20. This. I agree with forearms.
Yeah, but different purposes for different things, isn't it?
No. It's the same. No.
Well, that's where you're wrong.
No, it's the tricep extending the fucking bone. It's the same.
Yeah, exactly. So it doesn't matter if you load it here or here.
No, I mean, it doesn't technically matter. No, I just think why are we not getting a bit of forearm tension on the go? Why are we not strengthening wrists? And why are we not lengthening the lever?
I do agree with you.
I know
that's
you
because
do.
I'm more holistic in my training. I'm not a little bodybuilder.
You've been using this word holistic a lot, and I like it, but I also kind of don't like it.
Why?
Because you're using it right. Because you're using it.
Good.
I'm not saying you're doing anything wrong, you're not, but the word holistic has sometimes not the best connotations. There's a lot of like...
Don't give a shit.
Okay, good. Because sometimes you do. And I often don't, but in this case I've thought about it at least twice.
Oh dear.
Including this once here.
Okay.
Maybe last time and the time before.
Talk me through your thinkings.
Holistic has like hippie woo-woo connotations. Not that I'm against this particular. Yeah, but it's like... usually people are like, oh, holistic healers, they're like doing magic.
Oh yeah, I understand.
And all this kind of stuff. You know, it's usually like, oh, it's Eastern Chinese medicine if we're going like holistic. And I know what you're saying. You're meaning...
all things considered.
Yeah, all-encompassing,
Yeah.
all things considered, yeah. I don't know how to do another... Taking into...
What is the definition of holistic?
Yeah, please do.
Let's do this.
Please do, yeah.
Let's educate ourselves and the people.
Because I'm not talking about the definition, I'm talking about what it sounds like.
Characterized by the belief that the parts of
Speak
something...
louder for the audience.
Characterized by the belief that the parts of something are interconnected and can be explained only by referencing to the whole.
Can be explained by only
Yeah, I
referencing
like
to
that.
the whole... Let me read the next definition there. The medicine definition, characterized by treatment of the whole person, this is more you, taking into account mental and social factors rather than just symptoms of
Yeah, so
a
being
given
smart,
illness.
basically.
Taking into account the whole thing,
'Cause
basically.
it-
I don't necessarily agree with this bit. Explained only by reference to the whole. So what you can't explain it without taking into account the whole thing. I can't even really think of a single example where that would be the case.
Well, I know
can
what you mean,
explain
but I
things
think
in-
of that more as you might not know everything there is to know to make a, what would you call it, unbiased conclusion for something, an objective conclusion, but you should strive to.
Silence. no, I don't fully understand what you mean.
Yeah, your eyes just fluttered around the room a lot then.
I thought,
What?
yeah. No, go. So I honestly, I don't fully
Well, do you know what's
understand
interesting about that?
Please explain
I've
again.
forgotten what I said.
Okay. Welcome to the podcast. It's Fit Talk Radio. We've done no intro. We've answered no questions. We've given no information.
Radio.
Radio.
Let's get ready to rumble. Should we go into today's topic, which is Q&A?
We've got Q&A. If you want, have you got anything else to bring up first, though? I have.
I'd love to go over that, but I forgot what I said, so that's that. Do I have anything else to say? Oh, I got 100 for 2 on bench the other day, and it was easy.
Oh yeah, you told me
That
this
was
in
a
person, but I'm
lifetime
glad we're
PR
mentioning
for me.
this on.
Not bad for a small boy.
Very nice. Yeah.
Thank you, I
I
think
know you
so.
weren't expecting it because you've not been benching for over a year or something. have you?
No.
You've done 2 or 3 sessions, and then you've rocketed up from like 70, 80 straight to 100.
I am literally the fattest I've ever been, which is the only thing I'd never tried changing historically in my bench press training. I tried every kind of modality, frequency, everything, training style to increase it, and it increased slightly, but not much. The only thing I didn't try was getting heavier, and now I'm the heaviest I've ever been.
Isn't bench press though one of the highest correlated exercises
Yes.
with body weight? Like when you look at powerlifters, which kind of makes less sense to me than anything else.
I don't understand why. I just know it's true.
Yeah, I also know it's true, but I know that mass moves mass, but you're laid down. It's like and you just
Where's the
shove.
mass?
It makes more sense on like a squat or a deadlift to me.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
But I think they're actually less correlated body weight wise than benches.
Yeah, it's weird that, isn't it?
I don't know.
No,
Yeah.
I don't understand why. I just know it's true.
Well done for getting stronger.
Thanks, man. I feel good about
And you've also got low levels of body fat. And
I'm
I
so
also
fine.
think you're looking the best and biggest you've ever looked as well.
thank you, sir.
No, I do. I legitimately think this. You're one of your strongest. You're feeling good. You're at one of your healthiest positions
Yeah,
as well.
For sure, yeah.
You're getting strong. Yeah, you're looking good. We're feeling
Do you
good.
know when we were playing pool the other day? I was having this weirdly, because I think I was maybe even wearing this top. I'm not sure, but it was
It wasn't that exact one.
Okay, it was another like long sleeve one.
Yeah, it was.
I was having a weird kind of feeling of feeling small for all of it.
Is it 'cause
Maybe
you're
because
near
I was
me?
feeling exposed. Maybe.
Yeah, it's because you're just around me, isn't it?
We can pull up that photo of your arm if you want, bitch.
No, come on.
No. All right, let's get back to me then. Okay. I was feeling small, and then I walked in front of a mirror that was next to the pool table, and I was like, oh shit, I'm looking kind of big.
Yeah.
And I was like, alrighty, let's go.
Yeah. No one can deny. No one can deny.
Nailed it.
Yeah. All right. The only thing I want to say is nice to see you. Episode 11, is it?
Yeah, 11, I think so, actually. Yeah, true.
I'm feeling great. I'm glad you're feeling great.
I'm feeling good. We're here. We're late.
Yeah.
We're not on topic. Everything's going
I
well.
haven't texted Melanie Vidler
Crikey.
saying, come on to the show.
Medley Vidler being our next guest for episode 12.
Yep, we're going to go through her weight loss story, which is absolutely interesting and fascinating
good.
and ongoing.
This is what we want.
She's my only private client that's outside of Macros Inc.
Oh, really? You have a private client still? I didn't know this.
It's just her, yeah. Just with nutrition coaching.
I see.
I know she comes here to the gym and stuff like that, but that's not like what we're doing.
No.
We're just doing online nutrition coaching, just daily, just food habits, still working on the weight loss. She's working on everything. She does bits of Pilates. Well, I mean, we shouldn't go into it, but she's doing bits of everything and trying to.
Let's leave that for number 2.
All right, while I'm texting her, you introduce what we're going to do. Just explain to the listeners what's going on with the Q&A and what we're going to do here.
So, Connor's company, not that Connor owns it, but works for Macros Inc., is a fast-growing and currently world-renowned macros and calorie controlling and online coaching and all-around good time coaching company. And we've gone on their Facebook page and picked off lots of questions that they have directed to the coaches, and we've decided to steal them and use them for our podcast. So I picked out about 5, some of them that overlap onto others, and the first one I wanted to have a crack at was how to go about a macro check.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, interesting. This is not where I thought you would go with this.
Yeah. I thought that would be, because that's something that you get asked a lot. I had a client ask me the other day, actually, how do I know how many calories I'm burning, kind of thing. And so I've pulled up a specific example of a lady. Do you need to finish doing this first?
I'm done.
You're done. So I pulled up a specific example of a lady who is aged 45. She's 152 pounds, 5'1". She works out 3 times a week, kind of in the gym, and then does an outdoor boot camp session for once a week. And she aims to hit 8,000 steps a day. And she wants to know about a calorie and macro check.
That all sounds really good, though. Well done to that lady. If you're in the Macros Inc. public Facebook group, which if you're not, you should be, because it's really good. We've got, how many people? I don't know, nearly 500,000?
Yeah.
I don't know. And there's unbelievable amount of questions per day. So we're coming here we're going to do a bit of a Q&A. You've got some questions out of the group. I've got some questions out of the group that I'd like to go through. One of the questions we get constantly in the group every single day, many times per day, is what about a macro check? Basically, people are asking.
That's why I picked it.
Yeah, people are basically asking, how many calories should I eat? What should my protein intake be like?
And I have a decent rough, no, not even rough, I have a good guideline for that stuff, but it isn't the kind of thing that sits on the top of my head, and it's something that you've always had very close to your fingertips. So I was interested to think,
like what happens with this lady, basically.
Yeah, basically. Like I have my calculations and algorithms saved somewhere in my phone that I can plug numbers into. But this is much more your field than mine.
Sure, yeah. So when people ask that question, we've got an actual macro calculator on macrosinc.net. So if you go to macrosinc.net, one of the buttons at the top says macro calculator. You click it, you put those stats into it, and then it gives you the numbers.
Oh, that's awesome.
You can put in your activity levels, your weight, all this kind of stuff, and then it gives you rough numbers to aim for. So that's one of the things that we recommend every single person does to start with.
Yeah.
Then what we get them to do is post it into the Facebook group so that a coach or a moderator can check that the numbers have brought out look actually appropriate, rather than just giving everyone like generic, it's compared to the calculator information.
Yeah.
Somebody double checks it, and it's some people's nearly full-time job. It's not one of the things I usually do that much. I'm usually posting content or answering questions and stuff like this, but there are loads of people in the group who they're there all the time, and we do endeavour to answer every single one. I don't know that we necessarily miss any. There's people watching all the time. We'll go on and then double check that the calories, etc., are correct. If somebody's a Macros Inc. client, we absolutely do not do that. Nobody ever uses the calculator. It's all done manual, like you do it for your clients. I do it manual
so this
for
is
my
just
clients. This is only for public people.
Oh, I see.
When clients join, we do not use the macro calculator ever. Everything's taken way more into detailed consideration. This is just a free tool to help people. If you just want something to aim for, you want to kind of know what's going on and then start practicing and learning. It's just a free service that we offer, basically. But yeah, when somebody joins, I never do that. I talk to the client, I have a consultation with the client, and then I advise them on whether are we even looking at macros or not, because all my clients are not looking at calories. All my clients are definitely not looking at calories.
Okay, so let's assume that this lady was trying to just maintain where she's at, not lose nor gain. Because it seems, I'm not good at that conversion. That's not inappropriate weight for her height, kind of thing. 152 pounds for 5'1".
You're saying she's not very overweight, basically?
Not very.
Yeah, I get this.
No. So let's say she wasn't trying to change anyway. She was trying to say that. How would you go about trying to figure out that?
Yeah, so if she's doing it herself, or like you can see in the Facebook group, the macro calculator asks you if you want to gain, lose, or maintain, so you can click the button.
Yeah.
How would I do it though? I do manual calculations, so I can show you right here. Obviously, this is going to mean absolutely nothing to the.
No, that's interesting.
To the people on the.
Because this is the stuff that I think I have stored in my phone that you just know.
Yeah, I do it a completely different way. So I use a method that's called MAC BMR, which is a version of MET BMR, which stands for metabolic equivalence. So it's a metabolic equivalent calculator, basically, that it's called.
I'm writing this down.
I'm qualified through Mac Nutrition under Martin McDonald, this kind of thing. We use a slightly modified version that we just use for us, kind of thing. And it's very, very, very easy. So if you're a female, it's the number 22, and then you do times however many kilograms the person weighs. So I'm just going to go onto Google and I'm just going to put 152 lubs in kugs, and it's going to come up as 68.9. So I'll just put in 69 because it's not that sensitive. So it's number 20. If you're a female, you get the number 22, then you times it by kg, which for this lady is 69 kg, and then you times that by 1.1. The times 1.1 adds on 10% just because like when we're sat here, we're not technically not moving at all. We're moving a bit. You go to the top, even if you're not exercising.
So it figures out BMR. And
it's BMR, yeah. This is not including steps. It's not including exercise. It's not including anything. It's just you've lived a normal day and you haven't really done much. Let's say it's a lazy Sunday.
BMR being?
Basal metabolic rate. So the baseline minimum of your metabolic rate if you just sat around or if you're asleep or laid down doing nothing. If you're a male, you do the exact same thing. Except it's the number 24, not the number 22. That just adds a bit on.
And I always wondered, I don't know, I don't suppose that number it has been picked for any specific reason other than just trial and error and figuring out exactly what.
No, do you know why? It's very specific. So 24 for males is the amount of hours in the day because somebody's basal metabolic rate is roughly 1 calorie per kilogram that you weigh.
Right.
So it's 24 hours in the day times how many kilograms you weigh, add on, and then add on.
Ladies' days are shorter?
No, but that part is kind of like artistic licensing, just to cut it down.
Because that's what I thought it all was really. Like
I understand where you're going, of course. Yeah, there is a scientific baseline starting point, of course, for the calculation. It's the amount of hours in the day times how many kilograms you weigh, then add on exercise or steps or. If somebody does nothing, I start with that baseline 10% addition.
Right.
That's kind of a bit of artistic licensing as well. It's kind of that's not necessarily scientific to just add on that 10%.
Because that isn't
just makes it more realistic.
An 8,000 step.
It's not including the 8,000 step count. No, it's not including that she does the 3 times gym work. Or I would add all this on myself. So I would then think, okay, so this woman weighs 69. This lady weighs 69 kg. So if she does 8,000 steps, that probably burns 200 calories.
Yeah.
Ish. It's very hard to tell.
Because what would be the difference, say, in your calculations between someone that's doing 8,000 steps throughout the day, and that's how they're burning their calories, versus someone that goes for a walk and does 8,000 steps in a row? You know what I mean?
A little bit. Are you saying is that different or not?
Because it's not my field and I can't really project my brain into kind of figuring it out. I kind of have to know that stuff to know it. I can't just like figure it out. I struggle to understand the difference between, say, literally that. If she did those steps across the day, then obviously it's diluted by her just daily movement and stuff. Versus if it was in a more intense, not necessarily intense for her, but just all done in a short period of intensity, i.e. an 8,000 step walk in a day.
Okay, so I think I understand what you're asking here. So let me just go at it and just see if I'm getting it right or not.
The dilution kind of thing.
Yeah, so whether the steps are spread out or not makes no difference to the calorie burn. How fast or slow you go makes no difference to the calorie burn. Like if somebody runs 5 kilometers and they walk 5 kilometers, it's basically identical calorie burn.
It's volume plus intensity.
It's mass moved through space, basically. It's how many kilograms you weigh, basically, and how far did you go. That's roughly how much energy it takes. It does depend on efficiency, because if you're a beginner runner, then your muscular efficiency and technique's awful. Not awful, I shouldn't have said that. Not as good, we should say. Beginner technique.
Awful.
No, I'm sorry about that. So then you do burn more calories because you're like flailing a bit as you're running. You know, so you do burn more calories. But as you get to be a decent runner and you groove the patterns, after like when you get to be a decent runner, it's the same. Basically, is there different labeling? Technically, they could be. Like step count and daily activity level, it counts as NEAT, which is non-exercise activity thermogenesis. So non-exercise, not exercising activity. So non-exercise based movement thermogenesis means burning. So calories that you're burning, not through exercise-specific movement.
Just knocking about.
Yeah, just what? Okay, so you could say daily activity level step count. It counts as that.
We're assuming this lady's getting her 8,000 steps in a day from just more daily.
It just doesn't matter. I just don't care, because what I care about is how many calories does it burn. If she ran those 8,000 steps or walked them about, I don't care. Yeah. It's just good for me to know how much she's moved on average, because this is all estimations anyway. So we're at roughly 1,700 calories for this lady on BMR. Then I'm thinking 8,000 steps. All right, maybe plus 150, plus 200.
Okay.
If it's a weight loss client, I tend to underestimate, because then the worst thing that can happen is they lose more weight.
Err on the side of your goals.
Yeah. All right, you accidentally lost a bit weight faster than you expected. You know. So
So if you
If
were
it's a
to
weight-
add 150 to that for...
Or because she's doing maintenance, let's add 175.
Oh, crikey.
Oh, because we can do whatever we want. And this is only estimations. I would test this with the client after.
Yeah.
Because obviously I give them, if they've got calorie goals or they're eating food and then I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, okay, that probably is around this many calories. And then how their weight changes, that's much more accurate. This is just baseline
Yeah, so
starting.
just trial and error it. Stick with
Estimation
this,
calculations.
See what happens over the next 2 weeks. If things change drastically, then...
Yeah.
we've
If
got
a weight's
some
going down
feedback.
too fast, we add more.
To
Okay,
create
so
a little
underestimate-
case study, isn't it? We figure out these numbers, we stick to them, we record what happens, and then we adjust appropriately.
It's a baseline starting point, but then if she's not losing any weight and she wants to, okay, we need to chop some down. If she's losing weight too fast, we add some in, whatever.
Cool.
And then she's doing workouts, so she's doing 4 workouts a week. Let's say she burns, what do you think, 300 calories per workout? I mean, I'm making it up, but
Maybe.
it could be a bit more, but maybe it's 400 per workout, but all right. So then if she's
I'd
doing,
stick to more like 300, assuming they're more like weight
again, I
training,
err on the side of safety.
weight training style stuff.
Yeah, all right, let's call it 300 calories, and then she's doing 4 sessions a week. So let's just say that's ish. If we just half it across the week, I would probably give her another 150 on top. This might be a bit of an underestimation, but basically, I don't know. Oh no, we're coming around near. I've just shown the camera. We're coming around near 2,000 calories.
Okay.
For this lady's maintenance, which is pretty standard for a lady. That's what it says on the side of the Wheaties box.
Yeah,
It says a lady should eat around 2,000
that's
calories,
funny.
which for a lot of ladies is actually too many.
For sure.
Because this lady's got to that through having good activity levels, actually.
And she's 5'1" kind of thing. So if we took away those activity levels, that would drop pretty drastically.
It would drop by, what did we add on? Roughly 300, 400 calories per day, something like that. It would drop by,
Okay, I understand. That's cleared that up nicely.
That's just one method. If you don't want to do the Mac BMR method like that, I can do that just, that's one of the reasons why we use it, is it takes me 4 seconds on my phone. I don't have to log into nothing. I can just be sat here with a client and they say what we're doing with calories and I go bang, 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 probably about this. I can do it in 20 seconds, literally. If you don't want to do that, or you want to double check, the second best calorie calculator is generally agreed upon to be Mifflin Saint Jeor, which are French names. Mifflin, 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 as it sounds. And then Saint, ST, and then Jeor, is it Jeor or Jor?
I don't know, but I'm going to go and look at that.
Yeah, something like that. And I've done all this. Basically, they bring out the same numbers.
Okay, so
It's so close to being the same number that it's just
and to say that you can't really know either way which one's more, it's like pick one.
It's just testing, it's guessing, it's just an estimated starting point. So I'd put this lady around 2,000 calories if what we want to happen doesn't happen. I'm not saying she would even calorie count or anything, that's optional. But I'd be aiming for her to eat that much-ish.
How much do you trust, say, watches or chest straps that
Not a lot.
tell you how much you've burnt?
Not a lot.
I would have assumed.
Scientific studies show that they're on average more than 50% wrong.
Right.
Even science studies show this.
That's good then.
Some are up to
Cancel
100,
that.
some are up to 100% wrong.
How can you be? What's 100% wrong?
Double.
Like
It's
more
saying
than double. Out
double.
of
It's
it.
saying like you burnt 1,000 calories and you haven't. You burnt like 500.
Oh, come on.
They all do that really. They vastly overestimate, and it's because they're based on heart rate, and heart rate isn't the only variable of calorie burning.
No.
Because if somebody weighs a lot and doesn't have the best fitness, their heart rate can get up really fast and really high and not go down for a long time, and they're not actually doing that much movement.
Yeah.
If somebody's really fit and healthy and slim or whatever and light and powerful, they can do a lot of work with a very low maintaining heart rate. It looks like it'll say, oh, you haven't burnt many calories, but really you've been savage.
If they've just got high VO2 max.
Yeah, they're just
good
super
cardio,
efficient. Yeah, they're just super fit and healthy and lean and
They
strong.
can cruise
They
at
can just
100 beats per minute.
yeah, but actually they're
running.
doing they're way faster than most people.
Yeah, I
they're
understand.
caning it. You know what I mean? And like, what if you just sat at the cinema and you're watching a horror movie and your heart rate's up? Are you like burning 500 calories an hour? Because you're not.
Yeah, that's
you
true.
know. So it's trying.
Watching a scary scene.
It's trying. What I usually recommend to people is don't pay attention to the actual raw number, but do pay attention to whether it's going up or down.
Yeah.
So like if you're on a workout and it says you've burnt 500, okay, ignore that, but just remember 500. And then for your next workouts, if you want to do about the same, make sure it's still saying roughly about 500. If you're thinking, all right, I'd like to burn a few more, then let's do 600 or 700.
Okay,
Is it really 600 or 700? No, all right, whatever, but that doesn't
So
matter.
it's more just the case of picking a metric and
Just
stick
use
at
it as
so
a
you can
metric,
see
yeah. Or
it.
if you do a workout and it comes out 300, it's not 300, but you know it's only half as many probably-ish. You didn't do as much work as you did before, kind of game. So you can still kind of use it, and it's not bad.
Yep.
But I never take those into account with calculations like this. Never ever. I would do it all manually. I'll think about the person's body weight. If they tell me they run 5 kilometers and how long it took, I'll think about their body weight, how long it took them, what's their fitness like.
Yeah, do you have any internal maths for that, or is that just something you understand quite well so you can kind of figure out?
A bit of both. I would use, I'm very, very good at estimating. Like nowadays, I've been doing calculations like this for so many years that you could basically give me those stats, and without doing the calculation, I could probably guess it's about 2,000. I could in my head go, she weighs about 70 kg. I know that that's going to show up roughly 1,700
as well. You've
I've just
worked
done it
with a 5'1" woman before.
I've just done it so many times. Yeah, I've just done it so many times. I can kind of work it out. Sometimes if it's something a bit different, I would literally go onto the metabolic equivalent calculator for Met BMR. There's websites, I'd go onto the Met BMR website, put the stats in, then do the metabolic equivalent where it tells you literally if a person of this weight and this height does roughly this activity level for this much time, it'll be roughly this many calories. And then I would do that specifically. I've done that a couple of times ever. You know, if it's like someone's got different stats or they're doing a type of exercise I'm not that sure about, or they're doing a lot of extreme exercise or something, then okay, I'd be a bit more specific, but it's more about testing.
Awesome.
We've done ages on question 1.
That's fine, bro.
I mean, that was good micro check information. Melanie Vidler hasn't replied, so we'll just. Actually, she'll only be driving here.
We
right
power
now,
on.
Why. Yeah, do you want me to go on one?
If you've got a good one, sir.
I've got quite a few nice ones actually.
Go.
The first one. This person says, how soon can you expect to see weight loss when following a reduced calorie and or macro tracking?
I saw that question. I didn't pick it, so that's good.
I pick all the nutrition questions, bro, don't I? Though?
Mine aren't mostly, but yeah, go on.
I expect you to pick mostly the training questions, but I don't mind what we talk about, really.
I only found one, and I didn't pick it.
Okay, well, anyway, it doesn't matter, does it? So what do you think? If somebody's basically doing weight loss, they drop their calories down, how quickly would you expect them to see a result? If a client asked you that, what would you say?
Yeah, so there's a few different schools of thought, I would say. Like, if you, depending on what metric you're using to kind of measure it, so you've got, like, the weighing scales.
This is an interesting way of looking at it.
You've got the weighing scales, you've got measurements of yourself, and then you've got, like...
Pictures.
Pictures. You could even maybe go off like feeling as well.
Yeah.
And feeling.
Well-being.
Yeah. Well-being, and that could go in 2 different directions. Like, this is holistic of me, but to say that you could feel good or bad about your weight loss, the first thing being feeling, you might feel run down in like the first week from eating less or something, and that could be your first indicator of, oh, I'm losing weight. You might feel lower on energy because you're using more energy, and that could be.
You're definitely right about all this.
But that's not what she's saying.
Yeah, I think just from the specific language, she's saying, how soon can you expect to see weight loss? I don't think she means see with the eyes. Let's just say she's talking just body weight scales.
Okay, yeah.
If you've got a client and they're trying to lose weight, how quickly do you expect their weight to go down when they start?
Pretty immediately, within like the first week kind of
I
thing.
agree with this completely.
Especially not least because you might have other variables going into the first week of fat loss, such as water retention and other things depleting and things like this. If you're pairing it with exercise as well, you're getting those systems flushed out and things like that, so that could happen quite drastically. It's not uncommon to see someone drop, you say 2 kilos in the first week and then settle down into half a kilo afterwards or something like this. But if you're measuring, say, how many calories you're doing, then that's not something you can see. But if you have an excellent understanding, RE, what we've just talked about with regards to measuring how much you need, you can know from day one that you're losing weight because you know that you're in a 500 calorie deficit. If you know you're in a 500 calorie deficit, then you know you're losing, what's that, a pound a week, half a pound?
Pound a week?
Yeah, a pound a week, innit?
Across the week, yeah.
A pound a week. Then by the end of that week, it's very likely that you will see that. My recommendation being weigh yourself every day for the education of that fluctuation and watch yourself go up and down. Then when we get talking about seeing it, there are psychological factors that play into this that may outweigh the physiological.
Do you mean seeing with your eyes?
Basically, because you're looking for it and you're looking for it every day, so you'll be probably the last person to see it. So you might fall back on something that's more of a consistent measurement, like a measurement, so your waist, your jeans. Photos are a bit subjective, but that's probably one of the next most legit things, which you might start to see a difference within like a week or something like that. But more realistically, that stuff is maybe talking from a month onwards. would be my conclusive review of that question.
Bro, that was amazing. I've got nothing to add. Literally, I agree. If you're doing the calorie control, excellent and perfect. I think 3 to 5 days, the weight goes down. If it gets past a week and there's no weight drop, okay, we'll wait a little bit longer, but I'm getting very suspicious at this point that the calories have not been dropped correctly. If it gets past 2 weeks, I'm like, okay, this is too long now. Yeah, we need to fix some things because this is not going right. So pretty immediately, which is quite nice, I agree.
Yeah.
Most of my clients, 3 to 5 days, the weight's coming down. I agree with everything you said. Let's rock and roll on to the next one.
You got another, or am I?
You go. I'm just checking.
Do you know what? I've been thinking that it's on 47 as in time for the last forever, and it's because it's on the screenshot.
Yeah, it's actually 11.
Yeah, I've noticed this now. So
she might be here and coming on soon, so we'll see. She can just join on the Q&A. We haven't got 3 microphones running though, which is a mistake because we haven't got 3 microphones. But I've only plugged 2 in.
Oh, I see.
So I'll just scooch up next to you, and we'll just have to share somehow.
Can I toggle frequently between the time I spend on muscle gain and the time spent on weight loss?
I also chose
every
this question.
2 or 3 weeks switch. Bad idea.
Do you think it's a bad idea?
I don't think they work on 2 different systems, don't they? One can support the other. There's an overlap there, but it's not a massive overlap. I think there's a bigger psychological overlap, like a snowball effect of training and going home and wanting to support eating to do it. Assuming that it's weight training. Sorry, this is kind of my bias. But no, this isn't really a good idea.
Okay. I'll take a slightly different perspective. I agree with you if, maybe you'll agree with this, maybe you won't. I think if you've got large goals you're trying to achieve in either area, probably not a good idea. Like if you're trying to build a decent amount of muscle over some time, probably not the best idea. If you're trying to lose a good amount of weight over an amount of time, probably not a good idea. It can work if you're very close to your goal or maintaining. Like I do this sometimes myself, like I'll do a period of muscle building, I'll be eating a bit more, I'm trying to get stronger. Then I'll do a 2 to 3 week cut.
Okay.
I'll slash my calories down for 2 to 3 weeks just to, because maybe I've gained a couple of pounds, maybe it's been Christmas, maybe I've just been eating a bit too much. I'll do a 2 to 3 week cut, couple of pounds down, I'm lean again, back to the build. And then I'll build for a month or 2 maybe, or 3, and then I'll put on. So I think, but that's because I'm already basically in the shape I want to be in.
I agree with that. Those 2 weeks for you and what that could mean as a percentage of, say, your body fat if you were losing it is far more intense than, say, someone who was 30% body fat.
Even if you've got 10 pounds to lose, I wouldn't recommend chopping it down that much. Like, I know what you're saying, like 30% body fat or whatever, but even if you've got 10 pounds or a stone or anything like this
if you could visibly see a difference, and that would happen to you, because in a 2 week period of I know you would do a reasonably intense cut there, you would see a decent bit of difference for yourself.
I can get rid of all my body
very
fat,
close, exactly. As a caveat, I would say that you probably wouldn't stop training for those 2 weeks.
No,
exactly,
definitely not. But I might get a little bit weaker. Is that what the question's saying? Is she saying stop training completely?
Yeah. Spend time on muscle gain and then spend time on weight loss. Like every 2 or 3 weeks, switch between the 2.
All right, I don't know if that's saying she's stopping training, because she could still be training, but she might just be manipulating the food.
Okay, so I guess something I should say is that the closer and closer you are to a beginner's stage, and that exists almost forever, the better you can build muscle and lose fat at the same time.
Yeah.
You don't need the most optimal place for building muscle is a calorie surplus.
Yeah.
Because it's energy.
Usually a small. Hey, here she is. It's Johnny Fiddler, ladies and gentlemen.
Right, how do we do this?
Oh yeah, you're gonna have to snake past all this.
Come around this way if you'd like.
I'm not doing an obstacle course. Come on.
Come on. No, this is test number 1. You can go under the table if you want.
Do you want to move the camera slightly, or shall we just shuffle
I'm just gonna move up. We haven't got. You just fully drag me across.
Come on, bitch.
Yeah, you're gonna have to come around here. Yeah, come on now.
That table can be moved.
It looks okay on the camera.
She's going under.
Yes,
She's doing an obstacle course.
We're going
under.
Watch out for those wires
around
now.
it.
Watch out for those wires now. Hey, come here.
That was intense. Well done.
Give me a hug. I'm just gonna get this microphone. Oh, good to see you.
Hey Mel, give me a fist bump. How you doing?
We haven't got 3 microphones on the go, so me and you are gonna have to share. Come over here.
Sure you want to do it that way?
Okay.
Is it a lollipop stick?
Oh, don't. We don't.
No, we haven't
We're
got
even
anything.
worse than the lollipop stick this
You
time.
haven't got a lid for this, have you?
No, of course
We've
not.
got nothing appropriate.
I have nothing
whatsoever.
for anything.
We're actually on episode 1 of the podcast today, so it's episode 11 overall. We're doing Q&A, and we're answering a question of: is it a good idea to like lose weight for a couple of weeks and then build muscle for a couple of? You're not on the screen. Cool. You also need to share this mic with me.
Right.
So if you want to talk, you're gonna have to like say hi.
Hello.
You're gonna have to like lean in. So we're answering a question, aren't we? Of couple of weeks muscle building, couple of weeks fat loss.
Yep.
We both pretty much agree no. You also.
Yes.
No.
She was smart.
Melanie Vidler knows a lot of training and nutrition information, don't you? Talk into the microphone.
Yes, because I've learnt from the best.
Oh, here we go now.
This is good. This is full circle.
Shabba.
And the fact is that my goal is to be the most annoying person ever for Connor Rhodes.
Can I say something? You're absolutely failing because you've never annoyed me once.
I know, that's
So you're
why
doing
I suck.
god awful. You need
I
to
know,
step your
I
game up
suck.
and start being more horrible.
I know, I suck at that
You
one.
do. You're nice to me always. You've never annoyed me ever once, literally.
What is your experience and reasons for why this is a bad idea?
Right, in terms of weight loss, after 2 weeks, a lot of people jack it in because in terms of 2 weeks, they see a goal or they don't achieve it and they think, I'm not getting anywhere, it's not working, that's it, gone. And it's same with exercise. They get in the moment and go, oh, I'm motivated. And a lot of motivation stops after 2 weeks.
Yeah, whittles down.
Yeah, because it sort of drops to the point where they think, oh, I've achieved a little bit, but then then they go, oh, I can't be bothered. and they get to a point where, oh, it's so hard work getting out the door. It's so hard work getting in the car. I did it the other day, but I came.
I feel like you're talking about long-term habit building.
Yes.
A little bit
Yeah,
like.
this isn't something we touched on. That's good.
Yeah, this is not what we mentioned at all, so this is really nice. You're talking about getting into the swing of things. It is kind of what I mentioned, though, because my original point was if you've got any large goal to achieve in either area, don't do it. Just try and do both at the same time, like you said. If you're
Well, they're two different systems, aren't they? You can work both at once. And like we said, the less progressed you are in either, probably the more you can do of both.
yeah, the more weight you've got to lose and the less muscle and strength you've
Yeah.
been building over time, the easier it is to do both at once. So is the conclusion then, if you've got decently large goals in any area, probably don't do it. But if you're quite close to one of your goals or you're just maintaining, then it can
Then you
work.
could do it, but even then, like we said with you, you're not stopping training if you're doing an intense cut for 2 weeks.
No, I'm not stopping trying to build muscle. I'm probably not going to build much muscle because I'll slash my calories down quite significantly.
Yeah, like Connor's ability to build muscle if he was, say, less than 10% body fat and in a calorie deficit and kind of getting there is going to be
It's a tough
pretty-
game.
It's a tough game. It's not impossible, but it's just not likely kind of thing.
It's just hard to get strong. If you're that lean and not eating
Yeah.
a lot, it's just hard to keep the progressive overload going.
Exactly. So just what you can handle.
Yeah.
So that's probably that's an exception to the rule, isn't it? So speaking of the rule,
I feel like I'm an exception to
bad
most
idea.
rules, yeah.
I agree. Yeah. That would be on robot autism. Shreds,
Thanks.
delts,
Thanks.
all the good
You
things.
can keep going if you want.
I love it all.
More good things about me, please, sir.
You even have your hair is in the wrong places. It's upside down.
It's in the wrong places.
Yeah.
What?
It's going to be up here.
No.
Phil, be careful, have a big head and not get out the door.
I will if you two keep being so nice to me.
You got in here, didn't you? Mm-hmm. I think that's that question answered, though, isn't it?
Was that your question or mine then?
That was from mine, but we both had it, I think.
Let's go. Let's go. Sorry, we're running late on the podcast.
That's
if you
fine.
can't tell as well,
It's okay.
we've only done. We've been going
Oh, don't.
43 minutes. We've done 2 questions.
Surprise.
I know.
Yes.
The rest of the time it was just
Standard
it was just
behaviour.
intro. Yeah, I chose that exact question, same as you. Look,
Can I just say, you're getting sucky at putting them on.
listen, we know we're on. This is
Oh,
episode
don't.
11, and we've only uploaded 4. Not we.
3
Sorry,
and a
wait,
half.
wait. I used the word we. That's wrong. It's me.
I love that you take all the burden of this.
I
'cause
take
feel
full
equally
responsibility.
responsible, but you just seem to take it all, and I just sit here like, Connor, do your goddamn work.
Well, we can't both do it. And
That's
it's
true.
And it's on my laptop. What am I going to do? It'll take me as long to transfer you the files as it does to
I'm not
upload
sure,
them.
just hurry up.
I've just been doing so much crazy work, literally. I haven't really got any good excuses for doing it, so I'm really sorry. I'm going to try and put on 2 tomorrow.
Okay.
You said this Monday.
Stop.
Here we are, Mel. Here we are. Rapscallion in between us.
I did. You sent me a text, didn't you? Mel's just got back from Germany yesterday.
Oh, very
didn't you?
cool.
Yeah.
And you sent me a text, why aren't the podcasts on? What am I going to listen to on the plane? And I text you back, you'll sit in silence and you'll like it. You'll hear nothing.
Bro, we're trying to get to number 1. We need these views.
I know, I'm sorry, literally. I take full responsibility for this. I've not been good with the uploads.
That's fine. What was
So
going
I'm
on in
sorry about
Germany? I like Germany.
Well, I went to see some friends, and I go like once or twice. Well, I've gone twice or 3 times a year because they used to live on my estate, but I built up a really good relationship with them. Unfortunately, I need to be diplomatic about how I say this. Something happened, and it ended up where they ended up going back to Germany. So.
They moved from England back to
Germany.
Okay.
Deportation.
Well, no, she did, and he stayed in the army
I see.
in the UK, but he's now working over there. So I go and see him, like I said. And the interesting thing is, I've got a phobia of snakes, and they've got a snake in that house. Oh, no. And I actually held it. The fear factor. I just sat there and held it, and I went, "Oh, this is not too bad."
Snakes are cool.
It was quite a cute snake, wasn't it? Because she sent me a photo, and I thought I also don't like snakes because it's not. I don't think it's.
I made a girl cry at a party not long ago by holding a snake around my neck, and I felt really bad about it. I was really drunk, and someone had a pet snake, and I was like, "Oh!" and put it on my neck. Started walking around with it, and my hair was down, and so it was in like my hair, and this girl couldn't see it. And then all of a sudden, it just poked its head out and started like hissing at her, and she cried and ran away.
Was it a boa constrictor or was?
Yes.
A boa constrictor better not have been.
I think that's what he said.
It can't have been.
Is it the greeny colour ones?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
no.
yeah,
Keep
yeah.
that one, thanks.
Yeah.
I hope it wasn't that. Well, and actually, I mean, we'll talk about this on next episode. Cause on the next episode, if it's okay with you, I just wanted to talk about your weight loss journey.
Yes.
Me and you working together, what's been going on. We're here at the station, Jamie. You know, basics like this. But you just got back from Germany and only gained 1 kg, haven't you? Despite drinking gin every day.
I know. I was.
No Steins.
And wine.
Oh, good.
Wine.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
I had a combination of stuff, and I actually we've got a joint friend, and she was messaging, and I went, "Oh, I'm on day 6 of the drink." I went, "Oh dear."
You're on holiday though, so screw it. You never drink at home, do you?
We are what we do most often. We're fine.
Yeah, and you're not drinking most often.
Exactly.
Are you, to be fair? No, you don't drink at home or nothing like this. You're just on holiday. Screw it. It's fine, isn't it?
What have we got here?
All right. So next question. I know in order to lose weight, you need to be in a calorie deficit. Then she says in brackets, I am already in one. Mm-hmm. And in order to lose fat, you need lots of protein. But is there such a thing as too much protein? Who wants to take this question?
The guest.
Yes. Here we go.
Interesting. I've had this debate before, but when I did my bypass surgery, the prime thing that the dietitian said, protein, because that fills the gap of hunger, and and the factor is it keeps you fuller longer. Yeah. So I don't think there is too much protein. However, you still need the vegetables and the fruit to sort of stop you from, if you like, having toilet issues.
You're right.
But I suspect that you need, and I suppose you're supposed to have a bit of carbohydrates because you still need to keep the muscles going and the sugars and stuff like that, but it's in moderation compared to the protein. I would say more protein, less carbs, and...
Perfect answer.
That's a good answer, isn't it? Yeah, so I agree with this. You got anything to add?
I mean, I think that's basically to say that calorie is king, as this lady in here has pointed out as well, in regards to a deficit and losing weight. So when you say, is there too much protein, there at some point you could eat too much and it would exceed your calories, but it wouldn't exceed a protein thing. But you would want to leave space within that calorie ceiling for other nutrients, like you're saying, your carbs, your fibres, your fats, and this, that, and the other. So, yeah.
Yep, I agree.
Done.
First thing I've just got a couple of little things to add. Firstly, this lady says, in order to lose fat, you need lots of protein. That's not true. Even if you've got a low protein intake, but you've got a low calorie intake, you would still lose body fat. So
it's not the healthiest option, is it? But
no,
it's
correct.
Work.
It's not the healthiest option. It's not the best way to go about it. But you technically don't need lots of protein to lose fat. So it's not the primary variable, number one. The second point is your guy's most important point is the only way you can really get too much protein is if it's pushing out other nutrients. You're spending all your calories on protein, so you're not getting fruit and veg, or you're not getting any other fats or anything like this. If it's causing nutritional issues or deficiencies in other areas or reducing your food variety a lot, this is probably not a good idea. Any extra protein you eat over protein requirements is just converted into carbs anyway, and then it's stored as carbs. That's basically the game.
I can see your point, Will, because the more protein you eat, the more it is high calories. You know, like chicken and your beef and your meat and stuff, because it's that balance, isn't it?
It's all the calories,
yeah,
isn't it?
absolutely.
So you do have to be careful of all the foods overall.
Yeah, and you do want to leave room for other things you need.
You need to, yeah, otherwise it's too restrictive of a diet.
Well, I didn't ride it out for long enough to see the benefits, and that is whatever. But recently I did a keto style diet for a week and died.
You didn't feel good?
in a no shorter term. Yeah, like, and to conflate what we're talking about into that, it was basically because I was filling my calories in the day with nothing but meat and veg, basically. And it just wasn't leaving me any room for things that gave me more immediate energies and things like this. And I didn't ride it out to a position of maybe starting to feel better, whatever. But it's a good example of kind of, you need a bit left in the tank, don't you, for other things, other good things.
Yeah, and we spoke about this briefly, and you can become fat adapted, that's a real thing, to keto, and then you can start to feel fine. But there won't be any benefits to like doing this.
Unless you've got like an autoimmune disease. Or
correct,
something.
Correct. You can use it in some extreme situations, but for you, there will be no benefits. If you had a blood sugar management issue, I wouldn't encourage you to do keto. You could reduce your carbs. You could also do more cardio, which I think would be more primary variables to work with, to be honest. Rather than just like going keto, because it's also like it's low food variety, so it's also not the most nutritionally dense.
Oh, wouldn't you have less energy on the keto?
That's what we're saying.
Yeah, and I did for as long as I did it for. It got to the point that I got home from the cinema on a Saturday night, and I was struggling to like lift my arms. I was staring at this plate of mince and vegetables, and I thought, fuck it, I'm ordering McDonald's. And I ordered McDonald's, and it was great, and I felt so much better for it. And if
Delivery McDonald's.
Yes, of course.
I
walked past it on the way back from the cinema. Staggered past it, went no. Got home and then paid for delivery like a knobhead. So now I've learnt better. I'm just going to get McDonald's every time I walk past it. That's my advice for people.
10 quid for delivery.
Yeah, welcome to Fit Talk Radio.
Trust me.
Get McDonald's when you walk past and not buy deliver. But at least you're walking past, that at least burns it. Let's be
slowly,
honest.
Crawling maybe. But yeah, no, if I'd have stuck it out for a while, maybe I'd have become fat adapted, that ketosis state, and maybe I'd have started to feel better. But like Connor said, for no
what advantages would you occur from this?
No,
none.
Exactly.
None.
I'm interested in it because it's not something that I'm well read in, so I was interested in finding it out a bit, but it wasn't worth it in the end. Like even if it would have been 2 weeks of not being energized and whatnot, I've got shit to do. I've got people to train.
I think low carb is much more valid than no carb, basically.
Yes, fair.
If you just want to eat less carbs, fine.
I was training a client, and then this was about 3 days into it. I was training a client, and I was feeling a bit weird, but then the room just flipped sideways for about 3 seconds. And then came back, and I was like, "What just happened?" And
that doesn't sound good.
Not good. So, and then I did it for 4 more days and got McDonald's afterwards. So I think we've.
At least you tried. It's good commitment, at least.
I tried.
Next question.
Yes, sir. Let's have a look. I've got kind of two that may go together into one kind of thing. So the first one. One of my biggest struggles is breakfast. I wake up around 6:15, get dressed, and then get my son up and ready for school. We leave around 7, and I get back around 7:25, 7:30. Then I go to work out. When I get back, I make breakfast, and it's about 8:45, 9. Should I make a protein shake or eat breakfast before I take him to school? Eating a large breakfast will make me sick during my workouts.
Okay.
So that's number one. Second one, if you do a calorie deficit, can you eat your dinner and just sleep? I have a baby and I don't get the luxury to go for a walk after dinner.
All right, let's do the first one because there was a lot to that first question anyway. So if I'm understanding, this first person gets up, they take the kids to school, they do things, they get back at whatever time it said, 7:30 or something, then they train, then they eat. Is this fine? Is that basically the question?
My kind of angle with this and why it ties into the next one is basically just go off preference.
I agree.
If she said at the end, if you're going to feel sick by eating beforehand, then don't do it. It doesn't say for her, but assuming that she may have a weight loss goal as well, if there is a time in the day that you don't naturally want to eat and you're going to feel sick if you do eat and you've got weight loss goals, then take advantage of that time. Yeah. Don't eat during it.
Yeah, if the goal is to eat less, then why are you trying to eat more?
Why are you trying to eat more beforehand? Yeah. If you feel energized for your workouts, if they're going well, if you're progressively overloading, if you're feeling fine when you're doing them, then don't force things down you just because it's breakfast time. Do you know what I mean?
I completely
agree. Similar with the dinner one as well. Is it fine to just eat and go to bed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course it is.
At the nth degree, someone might argue that there's some cognitive functions that might disturb some things, but you can't really. No.
Yeah, but you could also easily argue the other way that it's either fight and flight or rest and digest, and you might sleep better if you're digesting, might you?
Yeah.
So you could argue it both ways.
Yeah.
Again, that's preference.
Yes, exactly.
I sleep great after I've eaten. Some
Oh,
people,
like
but
a
I've
lot.
known loads of people who can't really sleep if they've eaten. If they've eaten too much, they don't feel good and they can't sleep. All right, don't do it then. I agree with you. You don't have to eat anything before training necessarily, but if you want to, you can. If you want to eat something light, good.
Yep.
You know, anything else?
No, I agree, because I go through stages where I don't eat or have protein before I train. I come here, train, then I have my protein as I leave, because you're, in that respect, you can go into slug mode.
Slug mode.
As I call it, because it is. Your body goes into a slug mode where your brain starts switching off when you've eaten too much, and when you're trying to train, you're not energized. Your brain goes in. I think personally, your brain goes into shutdown mode.
I'll fall asleep if I've eaten too much.
Yeah.
I'll just go down. I'll be out.
And then you're trying to train and you can't focus, and that's why I think.
Yeah, I actually sometimes I get to training feeling hungry, and I have like do I eat something? Do I get something in me? And I nearly always decide no, unless I'm feeling like it's like a problem how hungry I am. I almost always decide no, because it isn't that, unless I had like a carb, like a really fast acting carb, it's rarely that eating there that's going to give me that immediate energy. It's probably already in there in my reserves, and I've just got to find it, warm up appropriately and figure it out. But it does have a high chance of putting me into slug mode, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I don't want to be a slug.
I agree with you. I either do nothing or a little bit of carbs. I'll do a banana, or for some reason, like even though I have IBS, bread works really well for me. I can eat infinite bread and I just feel great. So sometimes I'll get a slice of bread, or one of my favorite things is to get hot dog buns, like really soft ones, and then just put butter and honey on it and just eat it.
You're ridiculous.
It's like 150 calories for like a hot
Really?
dog bun.
Yeah,
I like open it and then butter and honey it, and then eat low-fat butter as
Do
well.
you want to leave Mel and I'll be the podcast hosts?
Why, this is good. I'm just saying fast-acting carbs. What's the call-out? Defend your position.
Saying you're a ridiculous man.
For what? Having carbs before traiing?
You eating
Fight me.
hot dogs without hot dogs.
I would never eat a hot dog.
No, I wouldn't eat a hot dog.
No, I don't want anybody I love to eat hot dogs.
I eat hot dogs now and again.
When?
Look at the face.
When?
I cook them for my son now and again, so I have one. I
don't remember any food diary pictures of hot dogs.
You have had one.
One. I don't mind one because we've been going 3 years. So if you've eaten one hot dog, I think good. You're on a track.
You're not eating enough hot dog buns with butter and honey.
Oh
in
no,
them,
I don't
are you,
do
Mel?
that. I do.
It's just
toast
bread
them,
and butter
though.
with a bit of honey on. What's wrong with that?
Sometimes
I just like the hot dog bun. It's soft.
Sometimes I have toasted them. It's like broke them up and toasted them on both sides.
Yep.
And put butter on them.
You can't say anything. There's a specific meal called the Vidler Special. Please describe.
sounds
There's also the Vidler Special Plus, and when you were in Germany, it was Die Vidler Special.
Are you German?
No, I'm
what's,
not.
Die
German.
Vidler Special.
What's Vidler come from? That's an interesting name.
Actually, I'll be diplomatic. The husband is from down south, and it's a southern name, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Doesn't sound English, that does it?
No, it's not. I don't
Anyway,
think so.
what's the Vidler Special?
What's the Vidler Special?
I've got 3 now.
Oh, good.
There's Vidler Special, the Vidler
1, 2,
Special
3.
Plus.
Yeah.
The other day I called one of them the Vidler Special Minus. I don't know if you noticed. I just replied to your food diary picture, VS
yeah.
Minus.
No, it is the toast with the butter, right? That's a Vidler Special minus, because the toast with the butter and the cheese spread on.
Oh,
top
so
of it.
minus the cheese. Yeah, okay.
It's Vidler Special Minus because it's just toast
With the
and
cheese
butter.
is the bog standard.
That's standard Vidler
What's
Special.
the plus?
Poached eggs.
Oh, that'll do it. Yeah.
Poached eggs on toast.
What cheese are we using? Like that soft-
Lightest, I think it's lightest dairy.
Oh, I understand.
Laughing Cow.
Yeah, I
I
know.
think, because it's about 19 calories a triangle.
19's low, isn't it?
Yeah.
That'll treat you well.
This is just a joke that we've got over time, isn't it? Because it's
Yeah.
we do talk about this as a legitimate tactic, though, don't we? That you need to have, if you've got a weight loss goal or you've got weight management goals, you need to have easy meal options. That when you can't be bothered to make something good and you're not going to cook something from scratch, you need to have some ingredients in where you can just knock something together real fast.
That's a good point.
One of mine and yours is both poached eggs on toast, isn't it? I can make it in 4 minutes.
4
let's
minutes, I agree.
let's not pretend it's hard, because it's not. If I've got eggs and bread in, we can do it.
You're 4 minutes away from food always.
Do you know what I mean?
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah. You boil your kettle first. If you want a cup of tea, so you got it lined up. Then you've got your little pan. Then you've got your toast in, eggs in, done. 4 minutes, done.
It's easy, isn't it?
Pepper, salt, done.
And one of your lazy, easy meals, if you don't want to eat anything proper, you just have toast with cheese spread on, basically. So we just started calling it the Vidler Special, didn't we?
It works, people.
David Lespezio.
It does,
in
but
Germany.
then I get lazy, so I might do it 3-4 days on the trot, which is not helpful.
But you do eat other food variety elsewhere, so it's all right. And I also
in
eat
there.
toast and bread. Yeah, so it's like it's fine, isn't it? It's just a joke.
Well, we seem to be veering towards the Vidler special. So shall we wrap up and start episode number 2?
I think so because it's 20 past 11.
Let's
now.
do
We've
that,
been
and
going
I
exactly
have-
1 hour, which is nice.
And I'm running out of time, so let's do this.
You've got to finish by exactly 12.
No, not exactly 12. No.
We've got
A bit
10
longer.
past or something like
Something like that, yeah.
Do a conclusion.
Conclusion is, thank you for listening. Thank you for sending in your questions. I hope we answered some of the good ones, and we thank our pal Mel here for rocking up early and joining in. We love you lots. We're sponsored by the Station Gym, Connor Rhodes on Instagram, Will Hukin on Instagram, Marcus Hukin Hair on Instagram. We love you, and we'll see you next time.